Hey y'all, my shirt is tiny. This is not my shirt it's the shirt that I wore under my work shirt.
Listen, y'all. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the tripod. I don't know if the table. But I noticed on videos, it's always crooked. It's always fucking.
You're making it crooked.
Oh well, make it right. You know you got an eye for the queer eye for the straight.
And then the camera is crooked too. The camera is like on an angle.
Should I turn it this way?
You should turn it more your way.
Like that.
Yeah. You just.
Or maybe like
and
this.
Push it up, because it's pointing down. No, you're pointing it. You took it back to my way, Kevin.
Look, I hate this tripod. I gotta get a new one. See, this is what happens when you buy a cheap tripod. I tried to be cheap. No, I gotta spend that money again. Anyway, what I was about to say. Like I said, the best moments of this show happened before the camera come on. But I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving weekend. Thank y'all for watching today's show. If you're watching us for the first time, please click that subscribe button. And everybody watching the show, please click that like button. If you're on your computer, if you're on your phone, if you're on that Xbox or PlayStation. If you're on your Xbox or PlayStation, click more options and then click the thumbs up button. That's where you can find the like button. How was your Thanksgiving? Because you know I can say a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you could. But I don't want you to say
I'm not going to say a lot.
Okay. No, mine was good. I worked that morning, and then I got off of work around 3:30, and I went home, took a shower, then I went to my aunt's house, and I ate over there, and I stayed over there for a while. Then I went to my pastor's house. I went there, and then I came over here.
You came here on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, but you weren't.
I must have been upstairs, because I was downstairs.
I'm trying to figure. When I came in here, who was here? Yeah, that was Thanksgiving. Wait.
Yeah.
That was the day before Thanksgiving. Yeah, I came on Thanksgiving. Cause Nina and Amber was downstairs in the kitchen. And then that's when they...
I must have been... No,
I don't think you were here. Cause I came all the way upstairs.
I didn't go nowhere on Thanksgiving. I was in the basement.
I used this bathroom on Thanksgiving.
I was in the basement on Richard Bed's sleep.
Oh, because when I came up here to use the bathroom, usually you could hear, and your lights was off, and I didn't hear no TV. Because there was somebody on the second floor bathroom, so I had to come up here.
Yeah, because I was watching the football game with them, and then that food kicked in, and then I was knocked out. Yeah. So Thanksgiving, let me tell y'all, it was good in here. It was. I was just happy my family was here. Earlier that morning it was crazy, but
it's always crazy in this house.
Yeah. People, it was just good to hear everybody's opinion on everybody. Like, it was just, for me, I enjoyed it. And I just asked for peace. I got it. After whatever happened, it was quiet. We all watched TV. We ate. We had some drinks. Like, it was just a good Thanksgiving. And I'm glad that, we had a good Thanksgiving in our house. This weekend, a chill weekend. Y'all know I restarted up the scorpionshow.com. If you have not checked it out, please go to the website, and I hope that you bookmark it so you could go to the website every day. Now I noticed that if you go on your phone, the website doesn't look right, and I'm going to have to work on that. But if you want to go on your computer, please check out thescorpionshow.com, and shout out to Kareem Henry for hooking me up. And I know I did not put his link in the previous video, but I will put it in this video if you want to contact him to design your website. But this weekend, it was a pretty much chill Thanksgiving weekend. What I did do is I caught up on all the episodes of Downton Abbey. And I am just sad that the show is over, but I just fell in love with all the characters. I just fell in love with the storylines. I could sort of tell what was going to happen. I don't know I think it was probably the writing, but sometimes they'll say certain things and then like, oh, that's going to happen. And then it will happen. It might not happen in that episode, but a couple episodes down the line. I found myself not liking Lady Mary too much because at first she was like one of the main characters, and then she was becoming one of the most miserable people and making me upset. But all in all, I just enjoyed it, and I do hope that they do a movie or something, because I want to know how did they get on with the rest of their lives, because at that time they had a big house, and then they couldn't have a big house anymore. I don't want to give it away, but it was just, they dealt with a lot of changes like how times change. They didn't want to use the telephone. They wasn't sure how to use that. They were skeptical about the radio. They were skeptical about women working and voting and all kinds of things.
You know,
like
it's so
that.
funny that you say that, because I remember watching this documentary that had to do with the film industry and when it started, and how, of course, in the early days they were called talkies because, no, not talkies, silent pictures. I'm talking about talkies, silent pictures, because there was no sound. You just went to the movies and you watched, and the words would come up to let you know what the actors were saying and whatnot. And I remember that when the first movie came out that had actual yes, someone talking, was The Jazz Singer, and I think that came out like in 1927 or 28, one of those years. And I think it was 27. And many people, even when The Jazz Singer first came out, many people in a few movies after that started having, you know, where people, it was talking. A lot of people just didn't know how to take it, and they were so used to the movies where you didn't talk that they were just like, I don't know if this gonna last. And you like, why wouldn't it last? Like, we can actually hear what you're saying. Like, why wouldn't it last? Like, hello? But it's funny because even after The Jazz Singer came out, like a few years later, because you know I like all types of movies. Even after The Jazz Singer came out, a few years later, they were still making movies that were silent pictures. And you're like, 5 years after this talking film came out, and all these talking films came out, and y'all still making... Who the hell is going to the movies to go see this? So you saying that kind of reminded me of that when I saw the documentary. I was like, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, but it was really a good show. And actually, I found out that the writer of that show is doing a show. It's coming on NBC. Probably in like 2017 or 18. It was an era that begins with a G that started happening in New York City, like in the 20s and 30s. They're going
not the Great Gatsby.
The Grittian, some kind of era is I can't remember, but he's going to do it, and it's going to be based here in the United States. And I'm just excited because it was really good writing, and if they could do a storyline like...
Is it a period piece like Downton Abbey?
Yeah, it's going to be a period piece show, and it's going to be coming on NBC. And I just can't wait. And then, after I watched that, I did watch some of The Crown. I watched 2 episodes. And then, last night, I watched Insecure. Now, everybody has been talking about this show.
Insecure.
It comes on HBO. And at first, I didn't think that I would be able to relate to it. But it's a funny show. You see what women go through, the insecure things that they go through when it comes to dating and their love life. And I just enjoy dealing with white people. I loved it because I can relate to some of the parts of the show. And I watched 4 episodes last night, and I'm going to watch the rest of them. It comes on HBO, 30-minute show. I know everybody was talking about the season finale last night, but I'm glad I didn't see... Like, nobody gave it away on what happened. People just like, oh my God, it was like one of them OMG series season finales. And I just can't wait to continue watching it after I finish doing this video. But yeah, so those are some of the shows I'm catching up on.
Can I say this really quick?
Sure.
One of the things that I didn't think that I would be able to, what's the word that I'm looking for? That I would be able to transition over to now, because you had me thinking about that with Downton Abbey, with the whole using the telephone. I didn't think that, surprisingly, I didn't think that I would be able to transition over to DVDs.
Really?
Because, well, remember, we grew up in the 90s. So it was VHS. That was VHS. And I will never forget, remember, they don't do it anymore. But remember when we were growing up, and every time a movie went on VHS, it was always a commercial like it's like on VHS,
the preview,
like the previews, and then to let you know that it was going to be. They don't even do that anymore. But unless it's on Blu-ray, you don't even see that anymore like that. But I remember growing up, I was a movie watcher, and so my mom and dad would always buy me like different movies that I like to watch, and I would just sit at home and watch some of the same movies over and over again. And I had this huge collection of VHSs, like from Crooklyn to Beethoven to The Sandlot,
okay,
to
Sandlot,
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I mean, I had two on Fu, the Flintstones with Halle Berry. I mean, I had everything, all of them on VHS. And I remember when DVD came out, when the DVDs first started coming out, and I was like, like how is it even gonna work? Like, how is all this movie gonna be on that disc? Like, it didn't make sense to me. Like, how is it going to work? And I swore that I would not. I think the last two VHS tapes that I purchased on my own was Titanic and Pearl Harbor.
Now, was Titanic two different videotapes?
Yep. Titanic was two different videotapes, and so was Pearl Harbor. And Pearl Harbor came out in 2001. Because I remember I went to the movies to go see that. And that was around the time when DVDs were just starting to be pop off, but they were still selling VHSs. And Pearl Harbor, I think, was the last film I bought on VHS. And it came in a big box, and it came, a beautiful box too. But it had the two tapes. And I was just like, how the hell is somebody going to fit both of these tapes on that disc?
Technology.
And now look.
But one thing I hated cell phones. I never felt that I had a use for a cell phone. It's like, I just don't need them. Like, why am I? No, I don't need a cell phone.
Well, you know what's interesting? I think I was probably one of the only people in high school who didn't have a cell phone. Throughout my entire high school year, I did not. 4 years in high school, I didn't have a cell phone. But that was when the cell phones were just starting to pop off. They're not like how they are now. No. They were just starting to pop off. I don't even think you had internet. You took pictures on the phones and they were just blurry and horrible. Like, it was just horrible. And nobody was posting them. I think with cell phones, even when I got my first cell phone, it's funny because I thought about this the other day and I'm like, well, what the hell did I do on the cell phone when I first got it?
Text, ringtone.
That was it.
Ring music. When people call you.
That was it.
And sneak.
That was it. Well, I don't play games. Literally or figuratively. I don't. But it was like, what did you do? Because some of the phones, you didn't have the internet. You didn't have any apps on your cell phones when they first came out. I was like, what did I do? Like, it was such a big thing to have a cell phone. Yeah.
And then nights and weekends was the big thing. Call me after 9 o'clock because that's when the call is free.
Because that's when it's free. Yeah.
And then the text.
Remember? Oh my God, you're right. I forgot about that. Oh my God, Kevin! And remember Singular, and then it switched over to AT&T.
And it used to be OmniPoint and all of that stuff.
I forgot about the call me after 9 because it's free.
Bitch. And stop texting me because bitch, that ain't free. Only get a certain amount of text messages a month. It was a hot mess. And all that for nothing.
All that for nothing. Because you look at it now, you're like, what was it for? Because
it didn't run up no data texting.
Nothing. Because you didn't have no damn data. You wasn't using shit because you didn't have shit to use. You didn't have nothing to use. So what were you running up?
Okay. So they was trying to just get extra money. Now everything, data plans is free. You can do so much for free.
Bitch, I went to AT&T the other day. The girl told me, you are. She said, I've never seen somebody use this much data. So she called a coworker over and he said, who you be texting out of the country? I said, nobody. She said, well then why do you have this on your phone? I said, I got what on my phone?
International, but it's free, right?
I think with my plan, I don't think whatever it was too much data. And she was like, you need to take this off your phone because, bitch,
you doing too much.
Doing too much. And I'm sitting there looking like a bump on the log with my stomach hanging over my damn shirt, looking like a love seat in the sofa, looking stupid. And she's sitting there telling me to take it off my phone. I'm like, okay, take it off. I felt so dumb. I felt like my mom. You know, my mom. No, I felt like my dad. Because he still don't know how to use cell phone. That's how I felt. Like, I felt old. I almost felt like take me back to when there was no data.
Okay. But I need that data with the internet.
Ooh. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? And she was like, why are you using all this? Like, you don't even talk to nobody. And the guy said, well, who do you know outside the country? I said, nobody. He said, well, why do you have this?
Well, did you get a chance to see the Soul Train Awards last night?
I wasn't home at all.
Bitch, where you was at church?
No, bitch. I was having a good...
Don't do it.
No. But, okay?
Tell me you've seen some of the performances.
Yeah, and one I saw in particular. Miss Brandy. Okay. So, this morning I woke up and I got myself together. And I think I was on my way to work. Or maybe I was already at work. And I got a DM. one of my followers sent me a DM, and it was a video clip of Brandy's performance at the Soul Train Award. So it was a caption under the video before I played the video, and it said, it was a caption from the person who posted the video, and it said, "Remember during the summer, someone asked Brandy to do the Soul Born Challenge, and she replied, 'Ciao, bye.' It began a Monica feud on Instagram from her fans, and Monica responded on The Real in September. Somebody's lying, it's always this is Brandy now. The lyric, somebody's lying, it's always something, talking ish again, then your whole fan base jumps in, now the whole gram's buzzing." So I'm like, okay.
She sung that?
Yes, she did. Because, bitch, I read this
I didn't even get into that.
I read this before I listened to the audio, so I'm like, wait, I know.
I need you to read that one more time.
So, what song? Make it, the more they talk about.
Yes.
This was the song that Brandy was singing. But I read the caption before I even played this. And so, apparently Brandy sang last night at the Soul Train Awards, "Somebody's lying, it's always something, talking ish again. Then your whole fan base jumps in, now the whole gram's buzzing." So I'm saying, as I read
that shit and real good, because I
said I know, because it's an old song, so you're assuming that she's singing.
Yes.
So you don't pay. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I know Brandy did not say that. I know she didn't say that. So I pushed play, and this is the part where she's singing all that.
Yes.
And I said, and you know what I did after I finished watching this? I went just like this.
But I'm not mad.
Listen,
I'm not mad.
You know what? I'm confused.
Talk about the performance. No, let's talk about
the performance was good.
Everything.
Yeah, the performance was good. But that part.
So what?
That was listen. That part stuck out for a lot of people because it was a bit of shade.
Yes.
No matter how you put it, it was a bit of shade. And I was confused because, all right, I heard about when the Soul Born Challenge was going on. I heard that Brandy was asked to do it and she politely declined.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think anything of it. I'm thinking like, okay, well, she didn't do it, because I'm one of those people, if you notice, I rarely do any of these fucking challenges. And I'm like, okay, well, Brandy's like me. It's no shade towards Monica. She's just like, no, I'm not doing no challenge. It has nothing to do with her. And then I saw that and I'm like, well, why did she say that? And then, you know me, because I'm always trying to get two sides of the stories, and I'm like, well, maybe she said it because, not towards any shade towards Monica, but maybe it was more so shade towards Monica's fan base for taking what she said and running with it. Because she didn't, when she said "Ciao, bye," maybe she didn't really mean like "Ciao, bye." I ain't fuck Monica. I don't think she took it that way. But I think what escalated this semi-feud, which I don't even know if it was that big of a feud, was when Monica said something about
on the real.
And then that's when it kind of escalated. Because I really honestly didn't think that Brandy meant any shade by it. But then when Monica responded on the real, I'm like, oh my God.
Brandy and Monica need to fix it. Like, y'all the only two left that we have. I mean, we got Maya, but I don't know what she's doing. From our era that was like our age, y'all was out there doing it and everything.
I still would like to see all of them get together. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I would really like, I doubt it. But I would really, that's wishful thinking. I would really like to see all of them get together, because they really were the three that we had growing up, and close to our age. You know, you had Whitney and Mariah in the 90s, of course, but Whitney and Mariah were a little older. Brandy, Monica, and Maya were closer to us, even though we were young. And Aaliyah, but Aaliyah's no longer here. But they were all at least close to us. They were in their early 20s, and you know, they were doing their thing, and all of them had songs on the radio. All of them. All of them were equally played. They all were. Everybody knew them. There was no who's better than who. Yeah. They just all were liked, and I would like to see that. Yeah, and you just liked who you like, and it was no, oh no, she's better than everybody. And I would wishfully thinking like to see them perform possibly at the BET Awards one year, but it's not. I would like to.
I think Brandy, whatever Brandy and Monica, they need to get to the root of their problem, and then smooth it the fuck over. Like, because when they did that song, you noticed that when Monica and Brandy did the song together, first of all, I think they should have stuck with Rodney Jerkins, not Rico Love. They should have stuck with Rodney Jerkins. And when they would do radio interviews, sometimes Monica would take it overboard, answering questions that Brandy would not have answered. So you could tell that it was a tense moment there. And then the song was on Monica's album, and then Brandy didn't put it on her album. And, you know, so then I'm like, okay, they really got something going on. Then, like, you don't really hear nothing. I think they were supposed to go on tour together. That never happened. Mm-hmm. So you just like, bitch, what is really going on with y'all? And why can't y'all get it together? But I mind my business. I was, you know, as a viewer, I'm like, I want y'all to fix it. We will all love to see it, but it ain't going to happen. Now, unless y'all really surprise me and do something, but I doubt it. Because even Monica was on the real a couple weeks ago, like, y'all don't know the real me. I'm real good. I'll do this and I'll do that. Like, and I think that was also directed towards Brandy. So I'm not mad that Brandy went back and put that in her song, and I didn't even catch it. But I did catch that Brandy is free, I guess from the record label drama, because a part of the performance, she did a little bit of Roxy Hart. And she had the newspapers like Brandy is free and all of that stuff. So, you know, I really enjoyed the performance, and the crowd was just into it. And I'm just like, I wish these young people could understand, like, Brandy, this is Brandy. Brandy took over fucking TV and the music industry. And she was what you call it, like a tween, what you call, I don't know.
Tween idol? I would say, I don't know, but Brandy
she was had a successful one. Like, Brandy was doing everything. Teen idol. Because she was
She
it.
had a Barbie, she had her.
Yes, she was doing it.
Yeah, she was everywhere.
Like, y'all need to get into it. And then, like, when they gave her that praise on her vocals, it is true.
And she can still sing.
Yeah, and I don't know nobody that sing like that. Mm-hmm. I know Jasmine be trying, but no, you can't do that like Brandy.
No.
But then Brandy can't do some stuff like Jasmine.
Yeah, none of them can do, but Brandy still has, like, she can do it.
When she do that, I get my life.
Yeah, she can. Jasmine can blow too. Yeah. And I would love to see the two of them do something together.
Yeah, they've been playing because they're supposed to do a song. I don't know what happened.
See, people like them, I would rather see them live on stage singing something like at a nice award show, like at a big award show, like a BT or a Soul Train, something like that, rather than, I don't know, you already know how I am. I like to see people live and sing. I love listening to CDs, but I just want to hear you live, because you do more with your voice live than you do on the record.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. That's why I love to see Beyonce sing live, because she's doing more live than she does on the record. Brandy's another one. Brandy does more live than she does on records. And somebody like Jasmine Sullivan and Brandy together, hello? Like, that's awesome. Like, that would be pure magic.
Well, I hope they all are part of that Divas Unsilent Night thing that's supposed to be coming on next Monday.
You know what would be a great Divas lineup? Can I just give you a great Divas lineup?
Sure.
Or should I say a Soul Divas lineup?
We're going to leave Erykah Franklin at home because she did the national anthem and sang for 5 minutes.
She did.
Yes.
Yeah, she took it to church. But she's the mother of one of her church. So don't do that, because she's Mother Franklin. With that fur coat and that, what you call them things? Scully. Well, who has enough? Scully with a fur coat. Aretha. And that guy that goes to my church. Child, I'll leave him out of this. But anyway. Yes. But a great Soul Divas lineup to me, beginning with legends. Mm-hmm. I would love to see, and for like 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours, I would love to see Aretha Franklin, the legends. Aretha Franklin, Patti LaBelle, Shaka Khan, Gladys Knight. I'm going to think of some more legends too, but right now those are like the 4 legends.
What about Celine Dion?
Celine Dion too, but I'm thinking more of a soulful divas. Well, you know, I mean, Celine can be a part of it too, because Celine, we've adopted her.
Hyped them up.
Yeah, we've adopted her. But okay, but the young group, I would like to see. I would like to see Beyonce. I would like to see Brandy, Jasmine Sullivan, Fantasia, Jennifer Hudson. Who's that girl? And I rise up. I would like to see her. Who else is young and so forth? Damn, I was about to say it doesn't have to be women. Yeah, it has to be Lettucey, bitch, right? Jill Scott.
Okay.
Yeah, you bringing the names out there. Chrisette Michelle, that's my girl too. Soulful. Who else is soulful? We can even throw in a little gospel. Yolanda Adams.
Yeah, she could do. She could do the.
Karen Clark Sheard.
All right.
Okay. Dorinda Clark Cole.
Whatever, you got the name right. You got the name, let's mix them up.
Who else? You know? And if we want to have a little cameo with the little men run out and sing, Music Soul Child, Luke James. Who else is another man? Tyrese can show up too.
Yeah, Tyrese can sing.
D'Angelo can show up too. Maxwell can show up too. What? That's a great lineup right there. Can you imagine? Every time one of them walk on stage, another one walk on, you're like, oh my God!
Yeah.
That's how it used to be in the 90s.
Yeah, maybe we
had
need
the
to be
VH1 Diva specials. Yeah, every time one walked on stage, you're like, oh my God! And they all knew how to sing.
Yeah, call it soul.
Yes. Each one of those people I just named, they all know how to sing. That is the perfect lineup. Can you imagine how many ratings that show would get?
Yeah.
Hello?
Be on the show. And then go on tour and say, look, we're going to have
No, not all
show.
of them.
Not all of them, but, you know.
Because there's too many of them on tour.
Some of them could go on tour.
Yeah, some of them together.
But if they do it the way that Diddy did that shit, like you.
It would, yeah.
And it was back to back to back. It was no breaks. Not unless you ran to the bathroom, because they didn't take no breaks.
I ran to the bathroom on Carl Tommy.
But you shouldn't have.
Yeah. No, I didn't miss his whole performance.
I mean, you sure did.
Yeah, I didn't miss his whole. Yeah, I didn't miss him.
Was actually singing.
Yeah, he was. Him and Faith. They were on to singing. And I'm just no shade. They were on to singing.
And Faith took it home. Baby.
Okay.
I was not ready.
No, and she had on pants. This time we'll take it slow.
And you got John Legend.
And John Legend. Yes.
Just y'all add some more names. Some names I don't know about. And
no, don't add no more names because that's a 3-hour show right there. Any longer, and I'm not watching it.
And Soul Train couldn't give out no awards last night.
Why?
Because Beyonce was not there to receive it. And I think that is shade. And I'm going to tell Beyonce this, and I'm going to tell her team. Listen, Black Lives Matter. You can't be going around on your tour, Black Lives Matter, stop shooting us, but you only want to go to the BET Awards. Soul Train started the shit off. Soul Train opened the doors for the BET Awards. Because who else was giving us awards? It wasn't the AMAs, and it wasn't the Grammys. We had to create the Soul Train just like we have our own show. Beyonce, you had a Soul Train themed birthday party, and you still didn't come to the Soul Train Awards. And you know what? I think that it's disrespectful that all these A-list celebrities, they get mad about who's not nominated for Grammys or who didn't win certain categories, but they do not go to the Soul Train Awards, and your asses need to be at the Soul Train Award, especially if you're nominated. And then not even that, y'all don't even do the video performance. I mean the video things where they be like, I'm sorry I couldn't be there tonight, but thank you for this award. I'm gonna thank such. Like y'all don't even do that. Y'all just do nothing. But you're always at the VMAs and you're always at the AMAs and you're always at the Grammys. Y'all don't do nothing for the Soul Train Awards. Occasionally y'all come to the BET Awards. Stop doing that. Back in the day, Luther was at the Soul Train Awards, Michael would show up, Aretha, Whitney, Janet, Stevie, all the A-list black singers were there. Y'all need to do your part and show up and be there. Like, when you see people win Soul Train Awards, they be so excited. They're like, this is the first award of my career, or this is the best achievement that I have. Like, when you are being nominated by your black peers and you win, like, it's so decent. Remy Ma and Fat Joe, like, they was all up there excited, because you know you ain't gonna see them on no Grammys. Let me not say that, because they deserve the Grammy for Lean Back, but to be up there, they were so excited, and see Fat Joe, he lost all that weight and he was up there praising God. Like, it was just everything last night to see that. And then they be getting it the fuck on. That Teddy Riley tribute last night, when everybody was performing the shit that he wrote for them or produced for them, it was everything. Brandy shut the shit down. Some guy named Ro James I never heard of did his thing. Like, everybody up there that performed did their thing. So why can't you be up there amongst them? That would be so decent if y'all showed up. Kanye, you crying about who not right and who not doing this. You didn't even go to the damn show. You ain't go.
He's hospitalized.
Well, that was before. It was take weeks ago.
I wouldn't want to.
I think they need to be there. Like, next year, our black people need to be there. If you, come on now. I'm sorry for going off.
No. I agree with everything you just said. But if you don't take that shit downstairs,
I am. That's over there. I kept bringing that shit up on Facebook.
I see. I see all.
You see how many places I had?
No, where's the place?
Well, damn trash. I don't want no big place. But I got to. and make sure nobody see it. But yeah, but the Soul Train Awards is never a bad show.
I agree with you 100% because just the other night I was watching this. I mentioned this to y'all too. The special CNN has this special produced by Tom Hanks, and it's the 60s and it chronicles different things during the 60s.
Ooh, that was on this weekend
the
too.
The 70s because they had a marathon because next year is going to be the 90s, the decade of the 90s.
Oh, I ain't missing that one.
So you got to catch up on the what's that? But over the weekend they were playing the different episodes from the 70s, and one of the episodes was about the transformation of music and how it changed during the 1970s. And one of the clips they showed was when Soul Train was first introduced, and they were saying how, this was the first time black people felt like they actually had a show of their own that showcased their type of music. Mm-hmm. Because the other shows were like American Bandstand and all that for the white people. But this was the first time that they had not only a show that represented them and their music, but a host, Don Cornelius, with his big afro and all that. And they had a clip when Michael Jackson first introduced the robot on Soul Train. And I mean, bitch, when I was watching it, I'm getting goosebumps right now talking about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. Because, baby, when Michael Jackson, it was his first time ever introducing that robot on Soul Train. And when he backed up from that microphone and started gliding and he was so, bitch, the goosebumps is coming. I mean, bitch, Michael, I had to really stop myself and say, wait, bitch, he is dead? I can't even say to him, you killed that? Because he's dead? I mean, he killed it. And I mean, this show, if I ever meet Tom Hanks, I have to thank him for this particular series. I mean, it's such a good, it's hard to explain because some people like, but each episode, like it'll be 10 episodes talking about different events that happened in the 70s. And this one particular episode, I almost didn't watch. And I was like, let me just watch it. And I mean, it just showed you how rock and roll evolved and how it was just so good. And when you talk about the Soul Train Awards and then thinking about Michael Jackson, and you were so right. I remember when we were young and seeing all those big stars performing. Like they even showed this picture on Twitter. They was like, remember when Michael Jackson performed? Remember the time on the Soul Train Awards in the chair in 1993? He just performed that whole song in the chair. And I was like, wow, you can't even find somebody on a Michael Jackson level today going to the Soul Train Awards. But back then, they went. Okay. It was like you had to go to the Soul Train Awards because many of those big artists started out on Soul Train. Michael Jackson was on Soul Train. Aretha Franklin was on Soul Train. Everybody was on Soul Train. So it was like, now that they got the award, we're going to give back.
Yes. And I love seeing them old clips. I'm getting emotional. I love seeing them old clips of them performing at that show. And when it came on TV, you did not miss it. You see them on Channel 17. You ain't miss it. And like, I just wish that they remember that you need to come to this.
We talk about this every year when Soul Train Awards come.
Maybe we need to start writing letters to the departments or whoever, the record labels. It's very important that they be there and show up. Show up for your own show. But you'll quickly accept a Grammy, but you will not go to the Soul Train Awards. Go. That's all I got to say on the subject. But the Soul Train Awards, they did a fantastic job. Y'all always do a good job on every award show. Sometimes the BET Awards give it too. But when it's professional like that, it was everything. I just loved it. And shout out to BET. And then it was on all the networks, all the Viacom networks too. So you can't say you miss it now that you were not home. It was on. So
what I'll do is I'll go home and see if I can find it on one.
You know they're gonna show it 30 times. They're gonna show it again. They're gonna show
That's
it
good
again.
though. It gets me excited, but then it makes me a little sad because it's like, well, everything you said was true. Like you need to be at the Soul Train Awards, especially if you're a big artist. Like you need to be there, but also it's like the history behind the Soul Train Awards.
Yeah,
like,
and they could be doing performances with these young people, even you don't know who they are, but you know they can sing, and y'all do a performance together. That's gonna open up more people to them. And where was Mary J. Blige? Mary J. Blige, she's on tour with Maxwell, but yeah, it was a really good award show like it is every year. And Erykah Badu always does a great job with hosting. Like I never knew that. I mean, I watched it last year, but it was kind of like, we was going through something at that time. But this year, I really got a chance to appreciate Erykah Badu, because she even gave out awards to people that's on social media. She did her own skits.
I saw the guy who does
the Jay Versace. Yeah.
No.
I know you're talking about Carlton. They showed the one where his mom, she was twerking and the mom ran into the church.
His videos are be on point.
Yeah. He was very
about church. I mean,
up and everything.
Because if he started out just making these little videos for Instagram or whatever, and then you see him blow up because he's always precise and it's always accurate in his videos. Like he had this one video when your church goes to visit another church, and this is how y'all be looking when y'all getting off the bus, and I showed Nikki, who goes to my church, and I'm like, Nikki, this was us a few weeks ago when we went to Virginia. We was getting off that bus like, where are we at? And my first lady, Carlton, loved the video when the first lady comes to church with a new hat. Her and my pastor fell out. We had a church meeting. At the church meeting, it was like the four of us, and we pulled the chair up. Me, my pastor, my first lady, and his niece, and we pulled this video up. Because my first lady had already seen it, because somebody sent it to her, but she wanted to show my pastor. He fell out. And the different people that was like rolling their eyes and stuff at the lady in the video, I was like, yeah, this is so-and-so here. Their dreams is falling. I got baby! When the first lady come to church with a new hat. Yes! But Carlton, shout out to you, because yes.
Yeah, but Erykah Badu did a great job, and
did she perform at any point or no?
She performed like throughout the show. Like she was singing. And Erykah knew she could fucking sing. Like
another person who could be on our Soul train.
Yes. So how we skip her?
Our VH1 Soul. Yes. How we skip her?
And she did a fucking soul cipher with Neo, Angie Stone, Gladys Knight, and Tyrese, and she was DJing. She had Robert Glasper on the keys, and they fucking did that soul cipher, and they were singing some of their songs, and then Angie would come in. Like Neo was kind of nervous, I guess, but Angie Stone and Gladys Knight and Tyrese, they did that, like kind of like how you was talking about that soul cipher was everything. It was everything. It was.
So whoever produced this particular Soul Train award needs an award.
Yes, I would buy the song off iTunes if they put it on iTunes.
See,
like
how good it was.
Now I'm getting goosebumps. Let's move on. Fidel Castro passed away this weekend on Friday. He passed away Friday. He's about to do the speech to the Cuban nation, letting them know that he passed away. People in I can't think of where is it, Little Havana in Miami, they were all celebrating. They still celebrating. They're probably celebrating as we record on the death of him. And then you had some people that feels upset that Fidel Castro had passed away. From what I know, Fidel Castro, or what I've been taught, he was never a good person. But of course, I'm sure he's done a lot of things for the Cuban people. And he's been, oh my God, they tried to kill him so many times. But I don't know why we stopped doing things with, the United States and Cuba, but from what I've learned, that he had a lot of people killed. Anybody that spoke out against government, you gotta go.
There were a lot of people. I think it started with like probably 40, 50 something years ago, and Fidel Castro was looked at as a communist. Now, depending on who you ask, because you have some Americans like us who was just like, Fidel Castro was just a bad guy, and then you have some other people who were like, listen, if you educate yourself, and not just go off of what you was taught, but, he actually did, and he looked out for different people. And so, it just, to me, I feel like it all depends on who you ask. Because there's some of his people who feel like he was bad. He had my family member killed, he did this, he stopped this, he was bad. And then on the other hand, you have some people like, listen, well, what he did, he was trying to help us so that we would, realize X, Y, Z. So, I just find it interesting because this man has been a part of history for a long time. I remember with him, learning about him during the whole Cuban Missile Crisis in the 1960s. I think it was in 62, and 1962, and when we were at this brink of a nuclear war between Cuba and America, and I remember, just learning about him and seeing this young militant, whatever the case may be. But then to see this man go for so many years and live up to be 90, because a lot of people during his early years are all gone. Mm-hmm. And Fidel Castro really was and is a part of history. To me, Fidel Castro, I look at somebody like Fidel Castro as, or was, a living legend, per se. Like, he was a living legend. And you don't really find too many legends that you can say, oh, they're still living. Like a lot of people like a Whitney or Michael, they were legends, but they're no longer living. But Fidel Castro, for me, he was just like, he was this larger than life person. No matter how you felt about him, I just always looked at him like, I remember learning about him in school, and he's still living. Like, he's still breathing the same air that I breathe. And for him to be 90 years old, he lived a long life. So I will say that he was blessed by God by living that long life. But yeah, he died, and basically an end of an era went with him when he died.
Yeah, it's just it really is all depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
But I do know that they have one of the best healthcare systems. That's why they live a long life, and everybody.
Well, we got a lot of people who live long lives.
Child, you can't even get good healthcare here.
No, but we got a lot of people who live long lives.
You got people that live longer, but they couldn't live longer if the insurance people weren't so greedy. They could live.
Well, I don't think I want to live like they did in the Bible. 200 and 300
well, you never know. When you're blessed, you're blessed.
Yeah.
If you still got your mind and you're saying that you
That's
can still
true.
praise him, then you need to let him.
But you know what? At a certain point, Lord, I want to be with you now.
No.
Because everybody, listen, if I live to be, let's say, 110. Mm-hmm. At some point, I want to be like, Lord, okay, tonight, let me close my eyes and come on home with you. Because if I'm 110, that means that majority of the people that I came up with is all gone.
Yeah, but it's a purpose. It's a purpose.
It is a purpose. But after a while, Lord, you bless me. I'm 110.
Maybe you got a book to write. People, you got.
Not at 110.
Like I was happy to see that. What's that lady? She's 107 years old, going to the White House, and a black man in the White House, and she was dancing like you just never know. She's like, I never thought I'd live to see this.
That's true.
Just.
But after a while, I just been, Lord, I'm tired. Lord, I'm tired.
How many Sunday outfits can
I wear?
It might be a new day coming.
Can you just imagine, like the change, like the whole change? Like prime example. I'm glad you said how many Sunday outfits. Prime example. Now, listen, I'm all for longevity. I'm all for longevity, but I can't because we aren't there yet. But I look at some old people. Now, y'all remember when I used to talk about the woman at my church, Mother Rivers? Mm-hmm. When I used to talk about her, Mother Rivers died. For those of you that are new to this show, there was a woman at my church named Mother Rivers, and she died a few years ago, back in 2012, and she was 96 years old when she died. All the way up until like 2 months before she died, 96 years old, lived by herself, still drove her own car, nice car. All she had was a cane, but she didn't walk with no walking nothing. She came sharp as a tack to church. Diamonds, real diamonds, all that. I mean, she was a fly old woman. And she was fly when she was younger too, because I saw a lot of her pictures. And she kept it up until she was 96. Anyway, Mother Rivers had been, when she died, she had been a member of our church for 75 years. For 75 years. And I just thought about it like, can you imagine everybody who was there when she started is no longer living? So she's basically for 75 years seeing new faces over and over and over and over again. Because it's not that often that you start out somewhere and then you are there for 75 years and then the same people who was there with you 75 years ago are still there with you now. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, after a while I was like, I don't want to keep seeing them on the face now. What's going on? Like, I mean, I don't know like how I'm trying to put it out there, but I think after a while I'm like, all right, Lord.
No, but see, I'm looking at it this way. You see how long she's been a part of their church, mm-hmm. and it's new faces all the time. And every time you think of Mother Rivers, and she's been there so long, you're always going to think of St. Joseph Baptist Church.
That's true.
Because she's been there for so long. Right. And the impact that she's always had on people. Just like she dressed this way, she did that, she lived like you're going to keep passing her story on. And you never know. Somebody like Mikkel was a part of this church for blankety blank years.
Too damn long!
But the wisdom, the knowledge, everything that St. Joseph Baptist Church you embody because you got it from your pastor and all the mothers and like it's just that's how I look at stuff. Because now, bitch,
well, listen, I'm not opposed to living long.
Yeah,
I'm just opposed to being 110 and just still sitting around.
Yeah, but see, if
I live to be 100 and I'm still functioning, then go Mikkel. But after a while, I'm like, listen, if I get to 120, I'm like, listen, I can't wipe my own ass. So it's time for me to go. When I get to the point that I can't wipe my own ass, then baby.
That's the same way we got here. We couldn't crawl, we couldn't walk, couldn't talk. Sometimes it's how you go
history has a way of repeating itself. Because you start out as a baby not being able to wipe your ass, and then you get to the old age not being able to wipe your ass. So it's all cycle.
But it's all on how you take care of yourself.
It's all on how you take care of yourself.
And that's real. I'll tell you all that. What else we had to talk about? There's some other stuff.
Well, can I just talk about this?
Sure.
So I'm sure you saw that video of that passenger on that Delta Airlines flight cursing those women out.
No.
Okay,
was
so
he drunk?
I'm explaining to you. So apparently there was this 45-second video that was captured a few days ago. This white man was on this plane and he was cursing these women out, these other passengers out, and calling them Hillary bitches, and was telling them.
I'm sorry.
But you know what? When you watch the video, I guarantee you, when you watch the video, you won't find it funny.
Oh my God.
Because it sounds funny, but when you watch it, because when I watched it, I was just like, because I'm about to tell you, he was calling them Hillary bitches, and then he told the people on the plane, and y'all all need to accept the fact that Donald Trump is president, and he's the president, and y'all all need to. Basically, the only thing that didn't come out of his mouth was nigga. That's the only thing. And he was on the verge, because when you see this guy, you can tell he's one of those types that uses that word. I mean, the plane was so quiet, and you could tell that people wanted him to just shut the fuck up. It got so bad, Kevin, that people wrote into Delta, because this passenger who recorded him posted it. Delta got so many emails and posts that I went on their Twitter, and it was so many people writing them that it was now an automatic response that they were just saying, we are looking into it. Every time somebody wrote them about,
he should be banned for life then.
Listen to this. You're very smart. So, he wasn't. People were upset and trying to figure out why this man was not kicked off the plane. Why was he able to fly from Atlanta to Pennsylvania, because that's where he was coming from, in Allentown, lives in Allentown. Why was he able to stay on this flight after doing all this? And people were saying, you kicked this person off. I think Candy Burris was even kicked off a Delta flight at one point. And a lot of people was like, if a person of color had done this, y'all would have kicked them off with no hesitation. So Delta got a lot of flack. So Delta made a response, I think, a few days ago and said, we are investigating this, that, and the third. And we apologize. So Delta, what they finally did was, I found out today that the young lady said that the guy was kicked off the plane, but then they allowed him to come back on. They allowed him to come back on. Delta then today announced that this man is banned from all Delta flights for life. He is no longer able to fly with them ever again. And not only that, but they refund everybody who was on that flight.
I know that's right.
Because the public got in Delta's ass.
Yes.
They said, you know what? We're going to ban this man for life, and everybody who had to sit on that plane and endure that, you all get a refund.
Baby.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. But you know what, Delta? Y'all should have kicked this. When y'all kicked him off, he should have never been allowed back on. Because I didn't know that he was kicked off. And the lady who recorded, she said, no, he was kicked off, but then they allowed him to come back on. And when he came back on, he remained quiet for the rest of the flight. So I guess somebody must have dug in his ass because he wanted to get home. But he should have never been allowed back on that particular plane. Yeah. He should have never been allowed because he became a nuisance and a threat to a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like, you don't do stuff like that. And he was very belligerent and irate. And he wasn't drunk. He was just letting them know.
Everybody getting out of control.
They're getting out of control, Kevin.
They are. I told y'all this on November the 8th. I told y'all. When I got on this camera and I was talking my shit, or probably November the 9th, I was telling y'all, this is just the beginning.
It's the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. And then Donald Trump will not shut up because he's still bitching on Twitter. Mm-hmm. We gonna have a bitch-ass president that complains about everything. And Obama ain't complaining about a goddamn thing. You ain't see them get on Twitter complain. Not Obama get on Twitter and complain about anything. They would dig in his ass to that.
Let Obama hire the people that Donald Trump is hiring.
Yeah.
And you know what? Can I say something? Mitt Romney, I hope you do not accept that Secretary of State position. But then again,
the camera about to die. Go ahead.
Then again, I don't think that they're going to give you that position because there's two. Kellyanne Conway made it very clear.
She let everybody know.
She
She don't play no games. Told you I like her. She is the mastermind behind everything.
She
and
let
so
you
Donald
know.
don't even think that he's going to allow Mitt Romney to be a part of this. I will not deal with this. I will be out of here.
And I guarantee you, they're not going to hire her.
No, and Donald's over her for even getting on.
He is over her, but he's going to listen to her.
Yes.
He's over her for saying it in public, but he's not. He's going to listen to her, and they're not going to hire Mitt Romney. And she said because Mitt Romney was one of the main people who just said all nasty stuff about Donald Trump.
He only made 2 speeches, and both of them were against Trump. And you're going to put him in their cabinet? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
She
going to tell Donald Trump if he comes, I go. And Donald Trump's not going to get rid of her.
No,
because she was one of the.
Going to be his
she got him to their White House.
Yeah.
As his campaign manager, she got him to the White House. He had to fire 2 people before he got her, and she was the right one.
The third was the charm.
And she kept telling people, I would see her on CNN, and she kept telling them, y'all think that Hillary's going to win? There's a silent majority out there that y'all don't even know about. And she
kept
was
saying,
right.
why is she not at 50%?
Yeah, she was
But why
right.
not them? No, but why isn't Hillary at over 50%?
And she was right.
Well,
and I hate to admit it because I hate her attitude, but she was
no,
right.
she never had an attitude.
No,
she was
I hate her attitude. Like I hate her condescending manner.
Yes.
I don't like that about her because she reminds me of those
I told you
people
so.
that they just think they are above everything and they know everything. But I gotta give it to her. She was right. And she had every right to tell everybody on these news networks, I told you so. I didn't listen to me, and I told you. And I mean, every time she was on CNN, I kept saying, who the fuck does she think she is that she knows that he's going to win? He's not going to win. And she was right. She kept saying, because y'all are not listening to those people, the silent people out there. We know exactly who they are, and we know. What? I would hire her anytime. I really would. To get me out of some shit.
So we're going
Who
to
needs
go.
Olivia Pope when you got Kellyanne Conway?
Okay. We're going to go. Y'all have a great week. We'll see y'all on Thursday night with a new video. Peace.
And I have to tinkle.
Yes, and I was surprised Donald Trump even let her get on TV talking like that. I was just